Sounds like me walking outside when I got my heels on. Maybe a headdress. Ooh. On Etsy. Okay. 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 Perfect. Am I live now on YouTube? Oh, yay! We're live in real life. Welcome, everyone. Welcome. Welcome. It's so funny to me every time I say the word welcome because it's so true and it's so too late. It's too late. It's so too late. All we ever really experience is bottomless welcome. Every part of us, welcome. And that's so sweet that we get to allow ourselves to rest in this welcome. To rest in this welcome. You know what it feels like to deny the welcome, postpone the welcome, trivialize the welcome, complicate the welcome. Assume the welcome should be a certain way or should feel a certain way. If there was real welcome, I'd feel this, I'd feel that. Innocently resisting what is already welcome. It's so sweet that, at the core, love cannot help but love. The human life wants to love. Even the distortion of love we have many names for is love. An attempt for love, a search for love, a hope for love, a longing for love, a holding on to love, trying to sustain love, projection of love. No, love is here because of this or because of that or because of this person, this relationship, this success, this amount of money, this expression of freedom, this place, this age. Innocently, we put so much, the mind puts so much. It's like everything depends on something else in order for love to be here. Relying on circumstance, relying on mind to be a certain way. Maybe some maturity dawns and there's a recognition, oh, maybe mind isn't as reliable as I thought it could be. And in that, such freedom for mind to be its wacky, hilarious, terrified self. Or we relied on body. Oh, if body only would just be healthy enough. And I would stop having this aches and pains. If only this would happen. And of course, these are relative treasures that have their place in the adventure of this blink of a human experience. Nothing wrong with wanting and attempting and exploring and learning and discovering and getting familiar with. the activity of mind, or a healthy body, or a healthy energy field, or a healthy story one tells about themselves. But one sweet invitation and opportunity is to consider that the love that is this moment isn't dependent on any of these factors. For it to fully be here, for it to effortlessly be here, just as the moment is. There's that Bjork song, I Tried to Organize Freedom, how Scandinavian of me. We do the same thing to love and peace. Love's supposed to look a certain way, feel a certain way, and that's sweet. That gets us in the door. It's so sweet to have a hallmark spirituality moment. And then life continues to challenge and kiss and slap any notion of separation. And then hopefully, finally, there's a collapse or an exhaustion or a rest or an opening. The heart breaks open again and again to notice that love isn't dependent and to notice that all phenomena, all appearance, dependent on love, dependent on this aware, loving stability. Just as all movies, we can say, are dependent on the screen. And all the characters, and all the ups and the downs, and all the kisses, and all the quickies, and all the divorces, and all the slasher moments, and then all the aliens, and all the technologies. Everything says that every aspect of movie says that screen is here. Every aspect of sensory perception announces this stability that's here, this awareness that's here. Feel into the awareness for a moment. Mind may have many things it wants to fix and get rid of and undo. Mind appearing as karma, mind appearing as energy, stuck energy, mind appearing as some kind of conditioning, some kind of programming, mind appearing as whatever it can appear in, as all the things. But to notice this that is aware of mind, this that is the same during every emanation of something called karma, the initiation, the flourishing, and the dissolution, and the dissolving, still here, untouched, untarnished. Untouched because it's completely willing to be forever touched. Untarnished because it's completely willing to be forever tarnished. Unstained because it's completely willing to be forever stained. Unbruised because it's completely willing to be forever bruised. Bodies appear in this that you are. Descriptions appear in this that you are. A story of evolution, a story of deepening appears in this that you are. Worlds appear in this that you are. lifetimes appear in this that you are. Awakening energy centers appear in this that you are. It is sweet to notice what may unfold as we relax the grip of things needing to be a certain way, us needing to be a certain way, those we love needing to be a certain way, the world we love needing to be a certain way. We may experience certain shifts, certain sensations, certain energy centers awakening, certain phenomenological experiences, certain shifts in what we perceive or what we thought was normal in perception. Subtle energies may become more visible, but none of these are a sign that you're any more free than you forever are. Just more sweet phenomena. And the ego gets a kick out of it. But who you are, unfazed, unwavering, deeper, deeper, silent, still, dancing, roaring consciousness, delighted with all the appearances. Closed energy centers, open energy centers, closed mind, open mind, equally announcing the presence of the unwaveringness that is you, the freedom that is you. Freedom with everything closed, still free, still open. So somehow, in the unfolding of a life, this invitation is heard. This invitation to experiment as an experiment from a space of curiosity or a very humble love for truth, to just shift the allegiance or shift the emphasis from relying on things that always change to relying on the intelligence that is stable and available and inexhaustible. To shift the emphasis from relying on the idea of peace always changing to the reality of peace that has never once moved, fully here. What does that look like? So many ways. One of my favorite that I think is pretty cool because of how simple it is to just for a moment stop and allow everything to be as it is. Usually we don't allow everything to be as it is. Have you noticed? Have you noticed all the things we're just like, no, 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 no. This has to change. This has to shift. This has to grow. This has to evolve. And of course, all of that is wondrous. This isn't the opposite of anything. It's the discovery of more options available to us as freedom itself. More options available. Of course, we're forever free to be chasing the dragon, as someone once said. We're forever free to forever try to pin down mind and make it be something, or forever try to shape body into something that will finally deliver something we think is not already here. Or the world into something that will give us something we innocently think is not already here. And what does not allowing look like? Can you feel into it? And then all the elaboration from that arises, all the thoughts that arise. When there's an engagement in not allowing, how focused percentage wise are you, or what's the allegiance percentage wise on a separate self going somewhere? Pretty high, right? Fully engaged in the assumption of separation. Innocent. That's what mind does. So again, we're exploring not as a way that needs to stop, never needs to stop. Hallelujah. Mind never needs to stop being itself. There's enough love here, enough permission here that everything gets to be itself, including the mind or the demon or the fear, false evidence appearing real. But the sweet, sweet, yeah, love. Can you pass the microphone, please?
So I one way I grip,
Yay!
uh, one of the many ways I grip is every morning I get up and I get on the scale and these two know because it goes beep right it's done and I go oh like because the numbers keep going up and not down and it's only I can only say it's muscle for so long because I pretty much
Okay.
yeah and so my question is I don't really understand what I, believe it or not this is embarrassing but separate self non-separate self what's the non-separate
Right.
self um
Right. And it's so good that
way
you
to
bring
be
this up. Yeah.
because it just means all sorts of things when I see
Oh
that
my
I'm like
goodness. Yeah.
you know so just there's a whole narrative I've been saying for many years around that whatever that
Right.
number is
Right.
good or bad
Right.
this or that
Right. Right.
separate
Yes. Separate, separate, separate. Yes. And we know what that generates and how that feels and how available we are, how unavailable we are in our moments, in our relationships, to our dreams, to our creative intent, to our
customers
energy, to our children, to our neighbors, to our world, to our own selves. Right? It's like we're drowning in this, and it's so innocent. And of course we're using language here in an attempt to speak to, so in the language limitation there's kind of like can seem appropriate to speak of a separate self and non-separate self, and or to speak of awareness and phenomena,
mm.
and to speak of mind and no mind, and to speak of as a way of like just kind of nudging into they're like little permission slips, hopefully. Don't even know how effective they could be or not. Some, it's wonders. It's wondrous. You never know what is heard or how it's heard, and still the willingness to fail every time. And the sweet rest. There's no separation anywhere, ever, once, ever happened. Never been a separate self. Never been anything separate. Never been anything with an independent nature apart from this that alone is. Consciousness, infinite freedom, already living its life so fully and divinely and sacredly and perfectly as your life always. And how sweet that in the dream of an evolving species, and somehow an evolving species where this dream has penetrated the forces of mind, and there's this vision of a harmonious world. The world is already harmonious, but how sweet that we get to participate in that, really showing up in ways that are very obvious for all of us around the globe, in every country, in every culture. But going back to using separate self, non separate self in a way that may be useful for beloveds, the separate self is just the momentary instant of the assumption that you are your name, your body, your gender, your soul, your higher self, your all of it, whatever the description. So anything that can be described is the overlooking of this indescribable, completely naked radiance of being. This intelligence that has never once been put into a pocket of information or definition or description. So, again, I was speaking earlier to a shift from relying on mind to relying on awareness or love or this moment. I love how Candace O'Denver speaks to it so beautifully, and a shift of relying on closed intelligence. So that's relying on the description of things. How many times have we uh, got ourselves into a pickle or put our panties into a twist uh, when we're looking out at what we think is time and what we think is cause and effect, or we look at, you know, something that we want to do, and then we look at our finances, or then we look at our partners, or then we look at this. And in other words, just limitation upon limitation. And then there may be this sense of there's no way out, or there's no way to that, or that can never happen to me, or I'm just, may as well just give up now because it's just, all the different thoughts and all the different elaborate. That's relying on a closed system of intelligence. It's relying on thoughts, on assumptions, on on this idea of some linear solidity, relying on what we think is real, what we think is, uh, and and then we get caught up in, well, how is it going to happen? Oh, it's never going to happen. There's no way. I don't have um, the resources, or I don't have a rich family, or I don't have a government that allows me, or I don't have, or my mind isn't that way. I'm too damaged. Oh, my nervous system is too damaged. There's been too much trauma in my life. There's nothing wrong. I'm not making any of this wrong. It's just noticing that there are options available to us. And it's really cool to consider, what is the payoff for the ego to be engaged in a closed system of intelligence? What does ego get out of that? It gets to be ego and gets to continuously attempt to justify its existence. When in a moment of telling the truth, never once been an ego anywhere. Not here. No separate self here. No tumbleweed of interpretations and experiences that make you separate from life itself. You are life itself, all of life itself. And then as we learn to rely on open intelligence, which is the willingness, it's the realm of the creative, it's the realm of the solution, it's the realm of possibility, it's the realm of wonder and awe and magic, it's the realm of available, it's the realm of willingness, it's the realm, it's the realm. You silly rabbit. It's, it's the it's the realm. Of laughter, laughter to break through the cracks. What can seem so damn serious. And how we get familiar with this open, loving intelligence. Again, teachings for thousands of years in Dzogchen Buddhism, uh, even the Dzogchen that predates Buddhism. And I love how Candace O'Denver again, ZG Rinpoche, speaks to it so clearly, allowing, opening, not being at war with mind. As soon as we're at war with mind, we're assuming we're mind, and we're just perpetuating and overlooking the ease that is this moment. That is your natural state. That is your natural state. So to allow mind to be as it is going from fist consciousness to open palm, open, soft bellied rest here. Allowing body to be as it is, even as we reach for Tylenol, even as we call the specialist, even as we do research on the best oncologist, even as we, doesn't mean that we don't engage in the way of it. You know, it's like we're even more available to be present to the way of it, or all the other options. But again, I love how Byron Katie so beautifully says there are two ways, and I know this from direct experience, to do anything. One is in peace, and one is in stress. Even though when I was in Crestone a couple of years ago to film a music video, I had to be in Crestone. Oh, it's my brother. I love you, brother, but I can't talk to you right now. Look how cute my brother is with his little baby. My sweetie brother, my little brother. I love you, but can't talk right now. Call you later. Um, Crestone. Of course, I had to be in Crestone to have the experience of a kidney stone. Ooh, Lord. So I go to Crestone to film this music video. We rent this beautiful dome, one of those like mothership dome places in Crestone. And you know, everyone had their beds, got their I was like, oh, I'll totally. Someone was like, oh, you want to? I was like, no, 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 I'll totally sleep on a couch. I have had the wonderful experience of being a touring musician. I could sleep anywhere. I could sleep anywhere. So I slept on the pull-out couch, and I figured, oh, yay, this is not my bed, and at home with my 4-inch thing, and I mean my 4-inch mattress pad. Hello. Yay to all the inches of everyone everywhere. And so I'm asleep on this bed. And and then I woke up with the most bizarre body pain I ever experienced. It was like this null but persistent, like it was kind of like if the sound of it was like maybe a little deeper. It was like this sensation, like right. And I was like, all right, you little princess ass bitch, can't sleep on on a pull out bed anymore. You're so used to your right to your 4 inches. You're so used to your luxuriousness that you can't. I was like, damn. I was like, oh goodness, body, what's going on with you? It's so, are you okay? It's all right to have a futon moment every now and again. And then I was like, oh, and then, available, not at war with it. It's like, oh my goodness, welcome. Welcome, sensation. Welcome. Do I have to know what you are right now? No. Welcome. In the welcome, I had a flash of seeing myself lying on the earth. And I had to be up to go film a music video. So I saw a flash of myself lying on the cold earth, and I was like, "Oh, perfect." So I got up, I went outside, and I lied down on the earth, and the pain's there, and I went to the earth, and I was just like, "All right, planet Earth, do you want any of this energy? Like, do you need this for a project or anything? Is there something you're working on that you specifically need this particular energy for?" You could totally have it if you want. It's right here for you. And then in about 5 minutes or less, gone. No pain whatsoever. No, it's like, oh, okay. Enjoy that. You enjoy that, planet Earth. I know you do exactly what you need to do with it. And I was like, maybe I'll make a new kind of mushroom with that. It was kind of like this interesting. Maybe there's some new lichen that's evolving into some. Do whatever you want with that energy. And then I did my full face of makeup with my lashes and my head wrap, doing a giant head wrap and my gown, my with all my crystals and rhinestones and then the music video, which was an upbeat song celebrating queer identity and there was a lot of dancing. I was doing a lot of Afro-Cuban dancing and ching ching ching, and I got to film the whole music video out. We recorded for like 8 hours straight, all day long. And then we went to visit a stupa and we went to visit a zikr and we went, in Crestone, they have all these wonderful places you can visit. And then we were on our way to my friend's house to have like a buffet. They were going to have a little buffet for all of us that were there in Crestone. Shout out to Christy and Kim. I love y'all. And, uh, and I get to my friend's house and I started feeling the pain again. And then as soon as I got out of the car, the pain hit in such a way that it knocked my breath out. And I was like, and I almost fainted and I had to grab onto the car door. And I was in Crestone. So I was surrounded by healers of all kinds. And it was so beautiful. And then it was so interesting to notice the sensations, but also not to be at war with it. And then it's like an excitement arose. Oh, I get to see how kindness shows up for itself evermore, evermore. And then this beloved came with their tuning forks, and this beloved came with their beautiful knowledge of the bio yarn and wanting to work on my bio yarn. And then this beloved was like, oh, it's back pain. So it must be sadness that was unresolved from 4 lifetimes ago. And then this beloved with their speaker, and then this beloved with the light technology. And then this other beloved saying, would you like some ecstasy? And another beloved saying, would you like some psilocybin? And beloved saying, would you like to smoke some herb? And, it's just like, I had a speaker here, I had a tuning fork here, and then, and it's so willy, and then just this laughter and this sense of just like, oh, this is so kind. But then also, available, started seeing images, and this doesn't mean that this is how it works for everyone, but a lot of times I notice images of things, and it was like the image was pretty much saying, take your ass to the hospital, bitch. And so right away when I heard that, I was just like, oh, clear direction, clear. I spoke to my beloved roommates at the time. Next to me, I was like, let's go to hospital. And they were like, okay. So I'm in Crestone. So I'm an hour away from the nearest hospital. And there's a lot of unpaved roads. So we're driving to the hospital, and then the pain is so severe and so crazy that I notice the body is vomiting, and I'm throwing up. And my friends, I love hearing them tell the story because they're like, "How are you vomiting with vibrato?" They were saying that I was vomiting like, "Boo, boo." I was like, "Oh no, oh no." You vomiting with vibrato. But noticing again the kindness of the gas in the car, the kindness of my friends driving, the kindness that there was a bag there for the vomit. It's like in the presence and no argument with the way the moment's unfolding, you don't miss any of the kindness. Life, oh, like this too, showing up for itself, showing up for itself. And then my friend was like, we need to call the ambulance. They need to meet us halfway. We don't know what's going on. We don't know. And I was like, whatever you feels best, do you know? So they did that. They called the ambulance, and they met us not even halfway, like a quarter of the way. And we're there waiting, and I'm massaging myself. I'm just like, all right, I'm moving around like this. And then again, it's like, I love, how is it that there's this excruciating pain? And if you've heard about or experienced, it's like they say it's one of the worst things ever. It's like, and how is it, how sweet to still be available to the temperature on my face and the feeling of, and to still see what's around me, like this beautiful views. And we were close to a place where there were yaks. And and so I was like, oh, fuck, a yak. I was like, damn, there's a motherfucking yak there. How cool is that? And then the beloved ambulance came, and they were so sweet. I got in the ambulance. My friends were going to follow us in their car. While I'm in the ambulance is telling me, asking me about my experience and my sensations. And I didn't mention that there was a lot of pain in my belly and in my lower back. And they're like, well, because there's pain in your stomach, we can't give you any painkillers. We need to be able to get to the doctor and have you have an honest conversation, exploration. So I can't give any painkillers, but I do need to give you some fluids, so I will give you an IV. So I'm like, okay. So we're driving and we're in a bumpy, we haven't reached pavement yet. We're in this. And he's like, okay, I'll just wait for him. He's trying to put the IV in my arm. And he's like, I'm just gonna wait for a smooth moment. And every time there'd be like a couple of seconds of a smooth moment, and he'd be ready to put it in, it'd be bouncing again. The car. And I'm just noticing, oh, like, this is so sweet. And then again, I'm like, beloved, would you be willing to tell the driver to stop and pull over, and you can put in the IV and then we can continue going? He was like, okay. And so he tells the driver stops. And he had a successful attempt. And no, he was successful at putting in the IV when the car wasn't moving on the mountain roads. And then the funny thing is the car stops, so my friends behind me see that the ambulance stops. And they're like, oh shit, the bitch is dead. So they walk up to the driver. By the time they're banging on this window, like, I said, what's going on? What's going on? Oh, he asked us to stop to put in the IV. They're like, oh, okay, yeah, that's so him. Get to the hospital. I mean, again, it's like, oh, present and available, not relaxing the allegiance that we've been trained to rely on of our thoughts about things, noticing thoughts, but also noticing that mind is so free to be itself. and not having to have an allegiance to them. So no part of me thinking I shouldn't have any thoughts or I shouldn't be thinking this because I've already reached a certain level of a certain level. No level of a certain level. Free, present mind is so willing to be completely ridiculous at every moment, forever and ever and ever. Amen. And so sweet in recognizing how innocent mind is. It's like, oh, thanks for the suggestion. Or mostly not even noticing it. No attention. Another sweet thing about getting familiar with the aware, loving aliveness that you are is in the story of things, in the sweet noticing of things. There's an outshining that occurs, and the phenomena of mind is outshone by the stability of the wisdom that is always here. And so it's just relaxes and relaxes and relaxes with full willingness for it to be full force and living color. Again, this isn't something better than that, or just noticing the sweet, sweet, sweet. That's why I love the mantra, more and more obvious. Already the case, and may it be more and more obvious. Already the case. And then in that, so willing and so clear to be present. Do you want this? Do you want morphine? No. Do you want? No. Any painkillers? What's the smallest amount of painkiller? And then, so they gave me an ibuprofen. And then I got x-rays and they gave me a cute little gold sifter to pee in so they can see what kind of kidney stone it is. And then how funny for them to tell me, I thought they were going to ask me, do you drink a lot of Coke? And I was like, I don't drink any Coke. But no, they said, do you eat a lot of spinach? And I said, holy fucking shit. I do eat a lot of spinach. Thought I was being healthy. I thought so raw spinach can calcify. There's some I can't remember what it's called that's in the raw spinach. There's something in it, but I would put globs of raw spinach every morning in my shake. And I love spinach. I'd have it all my salads were either spinach or arugula. So life is hilarious. It's so perfectly hilarious. And then the willingness for, whatever. I was in between insurances at the time. So willing for whatever. It's like there's no part of me thinking, and I heartbroken at the thought of beloveds feeling that they can't do anything medically because of cost or because of um, but in that willingness, then a week later, Biden did a pardon, and whatever the amount was that I owed to the hospital or the ambulance, all of a sudden vanished. But it's just so sweet, this option to live from the open intelligence that you are, to meet life as the open intelligence that you are, to meet yourself as the open intelligence that you are, to meet whatever is apparently not the open intelligence. Everything's open intelligence. But it can be sweet, as Candace O'Denver says, to have that little period of cat and mouse where awareness is the cat and mind is the mouse. A little bit of the observer moment. So appropriate and so sweet. What? Can Can you put the mic in his mouth?
Yeah.
Oh,
Did they bust them up?
well, it was a really tiny, tiny kidney stone. So they didn't need to bust it up. I was It was a crest stone. That's right. It's funny because I invited, and then it's so much fun. I love all the, and then Mind is available for whatever creative bullshit it wants to just, So I was imagining instead of angels, I had 7,000D mermaids singing into my body, breaking up whatever kidney stone was there. I had sirens, galactic cosmic sirens. And so it's so sweet to be in the poetry of all available to you. Just because you recognize open awareness doesn't mean you just like, I'm open awareness, stillness, silent, nothing's happening. And so available for the poetry to reveal itself in delicious and glorious ways. It's like so fun. So fun. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
The there's a tremendous amount of mental machinery
Hi, mental machinery.
that just stopped about a week ago.
How exciting.
Yeah.
Is there complete willingness for it to return?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yeah. It's like
Even
oh,
better. Even better than it stopping. Mm-hmm.
well, it's interesting that you say that because another thing is that I'm no longer. It just sounds so strange. I'm no longer afraid of being terrified.
Yay.
Like not
That's right.
afraid of being afraid. Like if something comes up,
That's right.
because part of what
Mm-hmm.
I've been noticing this mostly at work because that's just where communication, the bulk of my communication is because it's winter and I come here and I work. That's about it. That's fine. It's not a big deal. But there's just like a lot more calmness
I
in,
love that.
even if I'm like a little annoyed, I'll just say it, but without the annoy, like,
Right.
hey, I'm struggling with this and because it's this, and it
Right.
completely changes.
Isn't that so amazing?
It just changes.
So sweet. Yeah. And how it can seem a little foreign to us to
I
have
was
that.
gonna say, I was like, it was fucking weird.
It's
It's
fucking
getting
weird.
getting used to it because what I've noticed a few times that this has happened where there's a complete certainty that comes up, like, yeah, no, I see this, and this, and ego's like, you can't be that confident, motherfucker. And then I look at it, and I go, and ego goes, well, like it goes away. It's like it just stay there because I'm not afraid of that coming back.
Right.
I'm not afraid to stand in the. I mean, is it another mind? I have no idea. I'm not terribly worried about that. Like the layers that Gangaji. I listened to a Gangaji video, listened to a ton of them recently, where she has said there is a time to say no to mind.
Yes.
Like no, like no.
Namaste.
Yep. It's like no, no.
Yeah. That has its place.
Yeah,
Sure.
and a bunch of that has happened too. But it's not me. It's not like ego saying no to ego. Like no mind. It's like, nice. Is there anything else here? Yeah, you and okay. It's interesting to, like, yesterday it occurred to me like the body is the what I'm experiencing is the body is like the prism. There's only one light coming through it, but it feels like
right. That prism where the refractions appear as our experience.
But you don't get the refractions unless you have the light, which is evidence of the light. And then it goes back. It's like, oh.
Right.
That's the close.
Such a rainbow phenomena is.
Yeah. It's like you don't have the light, you don't get the rainbow. Then you don't have the prism, you don't get the rainbow. But there's always light. It gets weird.
Always light.
It becomes this
always
strange
light,
conversation.
Yeah. And then again, it's so sweet to recognize, available, because that's what's so sweet. We, that's why I like to speak of this attempt to speak of this, where
Mm.
this is an invitation to notice something as naturally a part of you as your nose. Something as naturally a part of you as the most natural part of you. It's like, yes, there's the experience of humanness. Yes, there's experience of thought and
Mm.
but also vast, infinite, unbounded intelligence, just as you are, right where you sit. And we always have the option to either be in the moment through the prism
Yeah.
of our filters, interpretations, assumptions, and to soften that and not make that wrong, but to recognize I could also be here as open, unknowing intelligence. And then maybe mind is annoyed, but this is not annoyed.
It's
Yeah.
rare that I won't. Lately, it's or I would say it's more rare that I'm lost in mind. Much more rare.
Sweet.
Which,
For fun.
yeah.
And I hear what you're saying with this.
Yeah.
And it's really good to notice and to report.
Mm.
And in this moment, for fun, you've been lost in mind before. Is that true?
Yeah.
Can you know with 100% certainty that you, the you I'm speaking to, and you're welcome to interpret that whichever way you like, that you have been caught up, lost in mind before? Can you know that with 100% certainty? Notice where you go for the evidence.
Oh, that's interesting. It's a no.
Yeah, 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 yeah. It's sweet, and as the story goes, to have a moment of recognizing I'm lost in mind, I'm not lost in mind, I'm lost in mind. And then to like just allow a little bit more, just a more, oh yeah, you as aware intelligence, as consciousness itself, as you as Arunachala, as Ramana Maharshi, as Gangaji, as Amber Terrell, as Patrick, as Freedom, as Closer,
I was just gonna say last week you said closer,
Closer.
and for whatever reason that stopped something.
Yay,
And like closer,
Closer.
like the movie and the screen and what's being shined on it. That is one thing.
Right. So
It's not like
beautiful.
there is awareness and then there isn't thought.
Right.
You know,
Inseparable.
at least not in this experience.
Inseparable.
Mm.
And then how fun to explore
Yeah.
as awareness. Does awareness see mind? As awareness, does awareness see anything other than itself? This is where we have sweet Indian sages speaking to the self, oneself, only oneself. Here is oneself. This too as oneself, this thought, oneself, this phenomena, oneself, this mind, oneself, this floor, this seeing oneself, this hearing oneself, oneself, where words were never had the power or the spell to entrance this that is forever free. Thank you. So good. And there's the sweetest little Bella, little long haired chihuahua, just completely receiving every belly rub. Pure perfection. Fluffy little black and white long chimpa. and the arms of his own heart. I am gonna. Speaking of Long Chempa, let's see if I can find a Long Chempa quote. I have a bunch of Long Chempa books. No. I'd love to read something that was translated from Long Chempa. Is your very self. So Long Chempa, oh, it's one of my favorites. I don't know how long, the 11th century. I don't know, don't quote me on this, but long ass time ago, Dzogchen master that had a dream. That had a dream that he saw himself in a past life as a bumblebee that got crushed by the hand of a king, and the king felt so bad that he prayed that the bumblebee come back as his daughter. And Long Chempa came back as his daughter, as a princess, and the princess had such an awakened, beautiful life that the princess came back as Long Chempa. It's so beautiful, so sweet. But this is one of the things he says. In the universal womb that is boundless space, all forms of matter and energy occur as flux of the four elements, but all are empty forms, absent in reality. All phenomena arising in pure mind are like that, empty of an independent nature. All phenomena arising in pure mind are like that. Just as dream is a part of sleep, unreal in its arising, so all and everything is pure mind, never separated from it, and without substance or attribute, of its own. Experience is neither mind nor anything but mind. It is a vivid display of emptiness, like magical illusion, in the very moment inconceivable and unutterable. All experience arising in the mind at its inception, know it as emptiness. That verb, at its inception, know it as emptiness. Could we pass the microphone to the beloved in the pink?
You say that was from 11th century?
11th century, 10th century,
Yeah.
14th century. I
They
think it
had
was
that figured
before
out back
Rumi.
then, right? Yeah.
Sorry?
They had that figured out back then.
They did.
I know.
They
Go
most
figure, right?
I know. I tell you, it's when we invented loafers that all went to shit. And how sweet that's this moment speaking to itself. With these technologies, hey YouTube world, who knows if if the planet lasts, who knows if hard drives last, who knows how many centuries or hundreds that this, and there may be shift in trends and so many things. The phenomena continue moving, evolving, reshaping, more and more obvious displays. And this moment, still this moment, doesn't matter the century, doesn't matter the age, doesn't matter the appearance, doesn't matter the location, doesn't matter the time, doesn't matter the coordinates, doesn't matter the matter. Here, this, free. Now, closer than now. Here, closer than here. You, closer than you. Closer than this side of the screen, that side of the screen. Closer. such rest, all still at rest. Anyone else want to explore something or share something? I read another Longchenpa moment. Oh, Longchenpa. Since everything is but an apparition, having nothing to do with good or bad, acceptance or rejection, one may as well burst out into laughter for all eternity. Hey, to the man, to the man. Sorry? Long as in long and hard, but just long. And Chimpa as in as in, can I block your Chimpa? Ask, could you please block my Chimpa? Long Chimpa. Longchenpa. Chenpa, Long Chenpa. Okay. Oh, the sweethearts, the sweethearts, the sweethearts, the sweethearts, the sweethearts. I feel really fortunate. And I invite you to feel into the romance of this, because of the Machu Picchu moment. It was this, everyone was already just a citizen of my own heart. No separation, no other person. So when these beloveds came through, it's like, my own heart speaking to my own heart. And forever at the feet of everyone as teacher, every form as teacher. So yeah, Gangaji, if you want to do some exploration, Gangaji, definitely. But my first yes, I call Gangaji my yes, my confirmation. And I love Gangaji, the sweetest of her teachings, willingness and vigilance. Vigilance, such a gift for the enlightened ego. Possibility of the wrath of the enlightened ego. The carnage of the enlightened ego. Vigilance, vigilance, sweet, blessed at the feet, forever vigilance. Byron Katie, another one of my sweethearts. The simplicity, the sweet technology of mind that anyone can explore in their own terms, in their own time. The value of questioning one's thinking, questioning one's thought. So very sweet, that option of a life of love and kindness. So very sweet, that option. Full support of a culture of alive, uncontrived generosity. At the feet, forever, forever. Candace O'Denver, so sweet, this beloved appearing to speak to what's here in ways that weren't bound to any culture or any particular drag. Very sweet. Her devotion to languaging and communicating and inviting in ways that work in a business environment. And of course, sweet that there's every version for every version for every version, every taste for every tongue. So very sweet. And beloved Longchenpa and Ramana Maharshi and Papaji and then all this. I mean, goodness, Rumi, Hafez, Kabir, Lala, just so very sweet. The nectar that is the poetry of this moment, forever falling deeper in love with itself, forever meeting itself, Like this too, this too, this too. Spoken this way too, said in this way too, this way too. And then the innocence of those willing to be claimed. And then the innocence of not having an awareness of meeting trauma, not having an awareness of meeting sexual trauma, not having awareness of the harmless nature of urges and surges of form and body and hormones, not having an innocence of minds' very skilled attempts to co-opt, to corrupt, and then all the innocent harm done in the name of awakening, in the name of enlightened, in the name of freedom, in the name of I know what's best and you don't. So innocent and so sweet, you know. Yeah. Just have more and more awareness around things. Yeah. Mm. I was going to read another little long chimpa moment. Ooh. Freedom attends reality, free at the core. Any effort is wasted, timelessly free. No release is needed. Free in itself, no corrective is possible. Directly free, released in seeing, completely free, pure in nature, constantly free. Familiarization is redundant and naturally free. Freedom cannot be contrived. Freedom cannot be contrived. Yet freedom is just a verbal convention. And who is realized and who is not? How could anyone be liberated? How could anyone be lost in samsara? Reality is free of all delimitation. Freedom is timeless, so constantly present. Freedom is natural, so unconditional. Freedom is direct, so pure vision obtains. Freedom is unbounded, so no identity ever possible. Freedom is unitary, so multiplicity is consumed. Conduct changes nothing. Our lives are already free. Meditation achieves nothing. Our minds are already free. The view realizes nothing. All dogma is freedom. Fruition demands nothing. We are free as we are. Free as we are. I love how I'm getting my divas confused. Come on now, come on now. ZG Rinpoche speaks to freedom as natural perfection, freedom as immediate perception, freedom as immediate perception. What does freedom look like? Ta-da! Jim said. Yes. Yes. What does freedom look like? This. Just like this. Experiment with that in the assumption that there's going to be another second from now, called tomorrow or a week. Experiment with freedom as immediate perception. Can we all say that together? Freedom as immediate perception. Say it at home. Freedom as immediate perception. So it's like whatever the sensation. Oh, this too. Like right now I have like a little bit of a something in my left. What is it? What is that, a foot? Is that an ankle? Some would call it an ankle and some would agree with me. And there's a sensation. It's like, oh, freedom as immediate percent as this. Freedom as this. Freedom as this. Whatever the pixels are. Is it 720? Is it 1080? Is it 4K? Freedom as immediate perception. Mind free, body free, world free. This is that poem from Hafez about the sun, never asking earth, never telling the earth that it owes it anything. And what kind of life, what kind of love unfolds from that space? Open intelligence is the source of every sun, every shine, every shimmer, every sparkle, shining forth as your light now. And then we speak in the language of shine. Love, are there any comments in the thing? People can hear me. Yay, people can hear me. Like, this is a sweet one for beloved, so I want you to be able to have this. Oh, 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 oh. So the other day, I was walking down the street and I had my little kitten heels on because it was snow, so I couldn't wear my fierce ass heels. And then I saw this person starting to wave me down, and then I turned the other way, and then a door opened, and then someone walked out with a red cape. And I saw them walk on that way. And then I saw this bear that was just around the corner and did this thing. And then I was looking and I was just considering, and I was just feeling into my heart, feeling into my soul. And fat! That's bad. So fat. It's and beloveds in certain cultures, traditionally Dzogchen Buddhists, will use that as a way to cut through mind, cut through identity.
It cures hiccups every time.
Ella was like, "What the heck?"
What in the hell? Like slaying. Like that's fat. Like that's slaying. Yeah, that too. That too. Thank you, Michael. You probably noticed I don't really use the fan. Maybe I should start using more often. without a ridiculous story about a cape and a bear beforehand. What the hell is he talking about? Is Ash having a stroke right now? Is that a brain bleed? Oh, so sweet. I'm gonna sing y'all a song. Y'all cool with a song? Yes, please. Yes, please. Please. Give us a little song. A little song. I'm so at the feet. I'm just so having a moment of just crushing on my band. You know, we're not together anymore, but Here to Here, starting in 1998. Young Latin fellas devoted to this unspeakable vastness, willing to sing these songs however they came through to this, as this melodious satsang. All the songs. You can go to hearetohear.com and all the songs. It's this moment singing to itself. I mean, it's true for every single song, every single where. But these, it's just so sweet that these 5 Latin men in their early 20s, 21, and getting offers from this record company and this record company, wanting us to sing something different and do something different. It's like, you guys are really, really talented, but can you sing about this and this and this instead of, I don't know what you're singing about, but, and it was just so clear. Thank you. No. Thanks for the suggestion. No. Together for 14 years, getting to sing these songs as confirmation of people's experiences, all the openings, all the. So I guess I should sing a Here Dear song. Another song came to mind. I was like, wait, there's gotta be a Here Dear song. Let's see, what sweet Here to Hear song. I want to sing First Time. Because then it was also like, you know, we have our songs that say things like we are nothing, pretending to be something. It's all light, it's all right. I am holy. Only good comes to me. Only good comes from me. I give thanks. I give thanks. I give thanks. Burning in the fire of now. And then it's like, okay, let's songs that are more relatable relationship wise. And this song came through. I wrote this song called First Time. It just speaks to how the tendency of putting our beloveds in a box, putting our beloveds in a thought box, in an idea box, in a conceptual, and then the person we love so much, we no longer see. We're just seeing our own projection, our own story, our own uninvestigated assumptions splattered in the most beautiful of beloveds. And the song says, baby, let me tell you time. Oh, you know what can be fun? Could you look on the little soundboard, and you see there's a area where there's a bunch of numbers and a red button, like a red light on a button. Up, 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 up. Oh, don't touch a knob, but can you see that red button? Can you unpress it? Now I got some reverb. Hey, reverb. Look at vastness appearing as a reverb. Baby, let me tell you time can play with our minds. It makes us believe that we know each other when you know that's a lie. Baby, let me say that we are constantly changing, rearranging. Can you feel what I am saying, my love? Sweet love, I am learning to forget I ever saw your face, to forget I ever heard your name, to forget the soul that's in your eyes, so it could always be the first time. Sugar, let me tell you, I've turned off the lights. I'm feeling my way out of the darkness. My heart's never blind. Sugar, let me say, we aren't tied to tomorrow, where we follow our conditioned lives of sorrow. My love, my love, I'm learning to forget I ever saw your face, to forget I ever heard your name, to forget the soul that's in your eyes, so we could always be the first time. I'm forgetting you so that I can't remember. Every moment's new, a blessing here to treasure. I cannot assume your love and I can measure. I give pleasure forgetting what you look like in the morning when you smile. I'm a witness to the glory of our existence, a never-ending story written for me. I'm learning to forget I ever saw your face, to forget I ever heard your name, forget the soul that's in your eyes, so we could always be the first time, 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 always, 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 so we can always, testing out the microphone, always be just this moment, just this moment, just this love, closer than that last realization, closer than any Machu Picchu, closer than any ayahuasca, closer than any beloved teacher Shakti, closer to all time and space, closer, 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 closer than that burning bush, closer, closer, close, this here now, this here now, this like this like now. Thank you so very much for this sweet, sweet, sweet time together. Thank you, thank you. I'm super, super, super excited. Super excited because ceremony's coming up this weekend. End of the month ceremony. Who knows what kind of motherfucking glory's gonna happen there? Lord have mercy. That's such a joy. Such a joy, such a joy. Also, so excited for the women's ceremony in February and the end of the month ceremony in February. And also, so excited. We're going to take it to another level. Gervais and I are doing this trauma informed Aya course. So sweet to just continue opening and discovering new ways of continuing to show up and beating and the curiosity of just hearing, what these beloveds are speaking to and how we can really show up in integrity and love and honor and support more and more obvious. So beautiful. Also want to speak to Aloha Waska. If you ever had the desire to do ayahuasca in Kauai. So what I love about that is that we have grandmother medicine. If you ever been to Kauai, I don't think she's officially known as the grandmother of the Hawaiian Islands, but I feel her as the grandmother of the Italian islands. That'd be Capri of the of the Hawaiian Islands. So grandmother medicine with grandmother island, and that's going to be really, really sweet. 5 days. We wanted to extend our 3 days because I'm so in love with the effective qualities of embodied integration. And there's so many exercises, and then coupled with Hawaiian shorelines and the waterfalls and the Waimea Canyon. I mean, it's so beautiful and so supportive. So you can go to myprivateceremony.com for more information on that, or to leafanddivine.org for more information on that. And I had two beloveds this past week, uh, quote unquote, I don't use the word, but it speaks to, graduation. We worked together for 6 months, and so sweet just to hear the confidence in their delight in having these tools of allowing, and having these tools of opening, and having these tools of delighting in the activity of mind and body and phenomena, and noticing what's always free and what's always here. So I have 3 openings now. If anybody would be delighted in working together at a more intimate level where we get to meet once a week, that's also an option. It's so fun sharing all these different. There's a lot of options, beloveds. Um, Another option, if you'd like to donate, if you felt called to leave a donation, it could be a donation for the satsang, or to donate for things like microphones and sound equipment or anything like that that may unfold. You can do so at my website, ashruiz.com. There's also information in the in the description section of Venmos and things like that. And if you'd like to leave a donation here physically, you can do so in the blue little cute little thing by the orchid and the candle. Yay, so many good things. I love you. I thank you. Go listen to the recorded version of First Time on heartohear.com. You could also find it on iTunes and all the Spotify things. a lot of music available to support, All right. Bye, beloveds. Thank you. Yay! Oh, that's right. Right. Oh, hi, beloveds. Thank you.